Do the EU or US brands have to be cautious about Chinese EV makers? They have tried all sorts of tricks to avoid China from entering the global market. Truth is, many began to choose Chinese EVs over these overpriced and hyped EVs. Western car makers, who are already struggling to compete with each other for a slice of the electric vehicle market, now face a tougher challenge: China and its strong investments in the sector. Not too long ago, BYD entered the EV market, and he openly challenged Tesla. But then, Tesla wasn't bothered, and Elon even gave a sarcastic reply. He wasn't ready to see them as potential competitors. China already has too many electric cars, making it hard for companies to make a profit. Adding more cars to the market, where many companies are struggling, will only drive prices down further and make competition even tougher, both in China and internationally. Automakers are set to release 110 new electric and plug-in hybrid cars in 2024, many of which will debut at the Beijing Auto Show starting this Thursday. These new models, mostly from Chinese brands, will add to the nearly 400 new energy vehicles already available in China's dealerships, according to industry reports. Comparison, there were only a little over 50 electric vehicle models available in the United States last year. Although China's overcapacity is risky, the intense competition it has sparked also brings some advantages, according to analysts, suppliers, and executives. Leading Chinese EV manufacturers have figured out how to significantly reduce the time it takes to develop new vehicles. They are quick to bring new models to market, packed with new features, and offer prices that competitors outside of China struggle to match. Wang Xun, the founder and chairman of the Shanghai-based company Launch Design, mentioned that a technological revolution is happening, with Chinese brands leading the way. Analysts generally agree that China's EV market, the biggest in the world, will eventually go through a major shakeup. But it hasn't happened yet. So far this year, the top 10 best-selling EVs, mostly from BYD and Tesla, have made up more than half of the sales in China. With the ability to produce more electric vehicles than the market can handle, prices in China are dropping and exports are increasing. BYD, China's top EV maker, has lowered prices on 3 popular models by over 9% this year. Meanwhile, new competitors like smartphone makers Huawei and Xiaomi are entering the market through partnerships with automakers who have extra capacity. State-backed companies are also launching new EVs to help China stay ahead in the connected car industry. David Lai, CEO of Hesai, explained that prices drop quickly in China, not because things are cheap, but because China moves fast. Hesai is launching a LiDAR unit that's about half the price of its current model, used by companies like Li Auto and Xiaomi. Li noted that Chinese EV makers, who can develop cars in just 18 months instead of the usual 3 years, benefit from these rapidly falling technology costs. Lai explained to Reuters that prices in China drop quickly because of the fast pace of innovation. He believes many people might not fully grasp how this speed helps make products more affordable. Is the competition unhealthy? Huawei and Xiaomi recently made a big splash by launching their own electric vehicles, while Apple gave up on its EV project after a decade. Xiaomi's new SU7 EV, which resembles a Porsche, has caused a buzz online and earned the nickname Baoximi, a mix of the 2 brand names in Chinese. Xiaomi aims to sell 100,000 units this year, a strong start for a newcomer. Dongfeng, one of China's major state-owned car makers, is promoting its new Pi 007 at Beijing's main rail station. This EV sedan, similar in appearance to a Tesla Model 3, is priced nearly $10,000 less. Xiaomi is expecting to lose money on the SU7, and many of its competitors think they can handle losses now and eventually become profitable. Ralph Brandstater from Volkswagen China described the situation as unhealthy, noting that money is being spent without a clear way to recover it. Meanwhile, Wang from Launch Design believes the intense competition in China could lead to the rise of new car brands. Launch, which has designed and engineered for many EV brands in China, has created its own platform called Launch EV1. They are offering this crossover prototype to potential partners, especially in developing markets, who want an affordable EV that can be brought to market quickly without huge upfront costs. Wang mentioned that by making entry easier, they hope to spark a new kind of revolution in the industry. Its Shanghai headquarters looks like an industrial co-working space, with hundreds of engineers and designers working long hours at shared desks. Prototypes are parked outside on the busy street. The competition in the global electric vehicle market has intensified recently. It is expected to heat up even more in the coming months. On June 12, 2024, the European Commission proposed penalty tariffs of 17.4% to 38.1% on EVs imported from China to address Chinese subsidies. This move follows the Biden administration's tariffs imposed in mid-May on various high-tech products from China, including 100% tariffs on EVs and 25% on EV batteries. This development is not unexpected. China's trading partners believe the tensions are due to unfair trade practices and Chinese industrial policies. Meanwhile, China claims its increasing exports show its natural advantages and the high quality of its products. The reality is that both views have some truth. Chinese EVs have received strong support from the government, and their quality is getting better, appealing to both domestic and international buyers. To address this issue effectively, the US, Europe, and others need to consider both points. China has used many different methods to boost the EV market. For example, they've introduced rules like the dual credit system. This requires car makers to increase their number of electric vehicles. This would also make it easier for people to get license plates for EVs compared to traditional gas cars. However, these rules would mean little without strong financial support. The trustee chair has estimated how much China has spent on industrial policy for this sector in 2018, 2020, 2020, and 2022. A smart move by the Chinese EV makers. Meanwhile, NIO, an electric vehicle maker in China, has made a deal with the bigger company BYD to get batteries for a new, more affordable EV model to compete with Tesla, according to 3 sources. This deal is a big win for BYD, as it wants to make more money beyond just selling its own EVs. It also highlights the fierce competition over EV prices in China and the cost of batteries, which is the biggest expense for new cars. NIO, which started as a small company a decade ago, had planned to make its own batteries but dropped those plans in December to focus on cutting costs and addressing losses. NIO currently gets most of its batteries from CATL, the top company in the industry. BYD will now join CATL in supplying a smaller battery pack for one version of NIO's new Envoy EV. Another Chinese battery maker, CALB, which already supplies NIO, will provide a larger 85 kilowatt-hour battery pack for the brand. Chinese EV buyers are more open to choosing lower-range batteries for cheaper prices compared to buyers in other markets. This is partly due to the availability of battery swapping stations and charging locations. BYD's battery unit, FinDreams Battery, already provides batteries to Tesla's Berlin factory and to state-owned Chinese automakers like FA. Most of BYD's batteries are used in its own EVs. In 2023, BYD sold just 5% of its batteries to other companies, according to Gaogong Industrial Institute. BYD is updating its production lines at its Huai plant in eastern Anhui province to make batteries for the Envoy EV. China became a global leader in electric vehicles by giving companies a lot of public money. This has become a common criticism in the US and Europe and is a key part of the growing trade conflict. But it's not that straightforward. If it were, China would have top companies in every industry, from airplanes to semiconductors. The fast rise of China's EV makers, who are quickly gaining global market share, despite Western attempts to block them, offers lessons for other countries on how effective industrial policy can be. Will Chinese EV makers eliminate the US and EU EV makers entirely? Well, the competition is fierce. And with that being said, will Elon finally accept BYD and other Chinese EV makers as potential threats? Only time will tell. Also, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to watch more exciting contents. We'll see you all in the next video.